What's up everyone, it's King Gamery here and I'm back with a new YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoy. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how I played in my first ever major top 8. This was at CEO 2021 and I was taking on a legend in the Mortal Kombat scene, DJT. But before we get into today's video, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what are your guys' thoughts on these breakdown videos. Do you guys like them and would you prefer them or would you prefer me to just upload my gameplay? Without further ado, let's get on with the video. So this was at CEO 2021. Me and DJT had been running it in the lower bracket. We had gone through like so many opponents. DJT actually up until this moment had reverse 3-0'd his last 2 or 3 opponents to be able to put himself into top 8. And me, I had to go through strong player after strong player, taking on Deadly Rebel, K7, Big Daddy G, Video Games Yo, and an what's it called, Matrix, to get into this position after getting sent to the lower bracket by Nicholas. So we're going to be taking a look at the gameplay. The matchup that we are going to be playing is Sub-Zero versus Rain. It was definitely such a big moment for me because this was like the first performance I had made where I had like at a big, the big NRS 3 is always going to be Combo Breaker CEO and Evo. And with the whole pandemic and, not having offline events in 2020, we finally had an offline event in 2021 and I was able to, attend this just to see how I would do, and to make it into the top 8 was definitely an accomplishment, I would say.
The epitome of a ski mask.
Yes, and it feels bad regardless of.
Okay, getting mixed by the tidal wave of Rain. Gonna have to elect to break away right there. Didn't want to eat a big ton of damage. Okay, down one into back dash. And I'm all about mixing up my options too. And you can also see as well is that I already have the escape field. I got it early on in the game. And now it elects for a 1-2 shimmy attempt coming out from DJT. And as if I did not have the escape failed that you didn't see, there it is right there. Able to end the game with another escape failed. So I'm able to keep my grab KB locked and loaded. Okay, trade on the projectile with the interactable. And I'm electing to just stay patient, right? So you're going to see also a couple of like overcommitment moves, maybe going for like a forward just to check some movement. Especially with Rain, he has really quick movement, just like Fusion in the game. 2-1 into Creeping Ice, getting hit by the second part. Outspace, but no hit confirmed to Ice Ball, but I get a clean jump in. And a full combo right there too. Pressure is on, back throw KB. Tries to go for a false block attempt, standing 3, and just like that, the game is going to end. So you're going to wonder too, so you're going to saw right there how I did a little bit like a teabag animation. And I know what you're saying, Gamber, you're not a toxic player at all. What is up with, what was the deal with that moment? It was such a big moment, especially when you're on a stage like that. You want it to be like known. You want to, leave like your, I guess, staple of how people are going to remember you, right? And I know that, I don't want to be remembered as a toxic player because I'm not a toxic player. Everyone knows that. But it was such a big moment for me to make my first top 8, and I wanted to basically get into Denzel's head right away, saying, hey, I understand that you made a lot of reverse 3-0s to get here, but I'm no pushover of an opponent, and I basically wanted to let him know I'm here to play. And so that is definitely how I started to basically make my statement early on. And especially with a dominant performance of a game like that. DJT is definitely an icon or, a legend. He's been doing this and he's been, numerous top 8s, major winning, as a player. And so to be able to be on this stage and go against a legend in the Mortal Kombat scene is definitely, the intensity's on too. Especially how you can tell in the background, there's a lot of people watching you. There's a lot of eyes watching you, especially on, the live stream that this tournament was live streamed. And to be here in this moment was definitely like intense, especially when you play on stage, you're in the top 8 out of all the out of all the players. This tournament had like 200 or 300 players that was playing, and to be in this moment, to be here and compete, it was definitely a great honor, I would say too. But nonetheless, a strong game 1. I was able to strike fear with the whole escape fail, and then you see the the 1-2 auto shimmies are working because of Sub-Zero's auto shimmy isn't a factor offline, as well as the mix too. So it's definitely a lot of mind games that you're gonna have to look forward to. But we are gonna take game number 1, and we're gonna skip ahead because we actually had controller conflicts for game 2, someone's controller desynced. And so we're gonna skip ahead. We resolve the issue, and what you're gonna end up seeing is they're actually gonna give me the first round of game number 2. So you're just gonna see me, just like to get the round right here in this situation. And we're just gonna play it out. So we had controller issues in one of the games. So then they were like trying to figure out what's an easy way to solve it, and they ended up giving me the round. So now here we go. Now this is game 2. I'm up a round, and now this is actual gameplay. So you're gonna see how I like to play this matchup. I like to just walk back. There's not really too much that Rain can do. He wants to be up close versus you as far as his gameplay, and I'm just electing to walk back. And then especially whenever the offense is straight ahead, pressure's on pressure, you're gonna see I'm electing to go for some high offensive tools such as forward 2 into creeping ice, or just being able to just influence check city gameplay. Okay, nice false block up 3 coming out, and that is gonna push me towards the corner. Down 4 to go underneath the projectile. Jump in does whiff. Nice counter poke option. Block on the overhead, but getting hit by the tidal wave. That is the mix coming out from Rain. And I didn't realize it at the time, but Sub-Zero can actually down 1 that string to be able to eliminate the whole overhead mind game and the whole tidal wave. And I know what you're going to say. Gamer, did you know that you could interrupt? Yes, I did. If you didn't, press pause and you commented down below. Yes, I do know that now. And I didn't know that at the time too, because, fairly new. This was 2 years ago, right? But I'm finally covering it. I'm finally going over how much of a moment this was, right, for me to be in this top 8. And, especially, in intense situations, players are typically, going to make mistakes. As you saw, whenever I played Foxy Grand Prix Evo last year, you noticed how I didn't punish Spirit Tracks with, a slide punish. It happens. When you're in the moment, you typically forget on, things that you're wanting to punish with certain attacks. And, that's, or missing out on certain situations, right? And be like, man, I really missed out on that. And then you look back on the footage and you're like, man, I could have done this. But nonetheless, you can't really, say that because the past already happened. You can't change the past. But what you can do is work, work harder, or know what you made the mistake on and improve for that for the future. So yes, I did definitely miss out on trying to interrupt that string. It is what it is, but nonetheless, back's in the corner now. DJT does have the offense on me. Both players do have defensive bars. DJT has no offensive bar while I'm sitting on 2 bars of offensive meter. And now let's see what's the situation. Okay, getting trapped into the corner. Okay, reversal, throw counter, and now here we go. This is Sub-Zero. Okay, and that is exactly what you're going to see too, especially Sub-Zero. I know what you're saying, oh, it's just another 4-2, mind game, right? But offline, you're going to really have to mix up your timing too. Whether that be, delay, walking up to your opponent, mixing up the patterns, right? Because it's a lot different to where you have frames of delay online compared to there's only typically 1 to 0 frames offline. Of delays. So you have to mix up your timing to really throw off your opponent, and that's exactly what I did. As we take a look at it, you notice how I did numerous dashes, right? And then I went into forward 2, right? To be able to delay it. And everyone was like, they knew it was coming, but because it's Sub-Zero, you don't actually know it's coming. Because it could just be, a whole oh, well, you were looking for overhead, here comes back 3. Oh, you were just staying patient, here comes a forward throw. There's numerous mind games to it, right? And that's the beauty of Sub-Zero, is regardless of the whole mind games that you see online, there's also those mind games offline to basically strike fear to your opponent. So now, after everything, now we're looking at a 2-0 situation, and noticing, too, how I started the round with Meter Burn Ice Ball. The last 2 games DJT had started with amplified projectile. So I was like, okay, I saw that you're going for amplified projectile. Here's how I'm going to start the round. And I'm going to start it with Meter Burn Ice Ball. And it's the perfect read too, because noticing the pattern that DJT had made with the amplified projectile to start off the round, I'm like, okay, I noticed that you did this. Here's how I'm going to be able to answer to see if you're going to do it again. So it does end up working out for me. I go for the Meter Burn Ice Ball, and now I'm electing to get a full combo punish to start game number 3. One part of the slide is locked and loaded for the KB.
not at all how I
And you know, you can notice too what the commentators are saying. DJT, especially being known as like such a strong and heavy hitter in the Mortal Kombat scene, you don't normally typically see like someone just get overwhelmed or just get, you know, a 2-0 right away, especially how quick it was too. You know, there was a fast 2-0 to be able to go in this top 8. And do remind you that this is the lower side of the bracket. So the loser of this is eliminated at 7th place. So to see like a strong player as DJT to go down 2-0 right away definitely shows how much fire or how much momentum is right now on my side. Everything is typically working for me, and I'm, you know, playing with such confidence too. And especially when you're in an offline nature and offline setting, you have to have that type of confidence. You cannot go in being nervous or afraid of your decision making, of your, you know, play style, because it's like this. If you do that, then your opponent is basically like a lion ready to strike on its prey. The opponent knows, oh, you're nervous, oh, you're like afraid to be able to play the game, I'm going to jump on you heavy. When you do that and you come out swinging, it definitely shows and it definitely like inflicts the pressure and the fear on them. Notice how DJT has not been able to get any sort of his gameplay going, and it's all because I've been simply taking over the momentum. Offline and even just Mortal Kombat in general, as far as Mortal Kombat 11, is all about having the momentum. No matter the matchup it is, the thing is you want to be able to have the momentum early. You want to be able to have the life lead or be able to inflict the damage early on your opponent. Because the thing is, and I always say this in these breakdown videos, is Mortal Kombat 11 is a comeback factor game. It doesn't matter if you're up in life or if you're down in life. The comeback factor is always there because of fatal blow and crushing blows. All it takes is legit a couple combos and you're right back in it. Potentially you steal the round from your opponent. And it's all about how you answer back from it too. You could be such up in life, but next you know, oh, I lost to crushing blows or I lost to fatal blow, and now you ended up losing the round. Are you overwhelmed, or do you basically lose your momentum factor from it? And the thing is you have to stay fundamentally solid and play the fundamentals and the basics to be able to take the whole entire game.
Oh, I thought this was going to be close. Now, again, we're not gonna say
Okay,
anything yet.
no false block on the creeping ice. Gets hit by the second part. Tech on the back throw. That is a back throw tech.
Patience on everything is just unmatched.
Double down one.
Remember, DJT has played in 3 straight sets of game 5s.
There you go. Yeah, see, DJT did play 3 sets of game 5s.
This is where his comfortability.
And he was down 2-0 in all those sets. Okay, nice tech on the 4 throw.
I have a feeling we're going to see
Okay, down 4 into 4, 2 creeping ice. And you notice too, this is whenever back in the time how I was electing to go for 4-2 creeping ice, just electing to play safe. It was a gameplay and it was a game style that I had inflicted with Sub-Zero. A lot of people are like, man, you're really playing Sub-Zero wrong. But in a sense, especially with offline being more reactable, you know, the 4-2 being more reactable to 19 frames, I'm electing to just play it safe. I realize that I'm basically missing out on a lot of damage, but here's the thing. If I went into 4-2 ice ball in a lot of those situations, then that allows DJT to get offense started, and then I lose a significant amount of life. And because I kept it safe and because I'm able to reset neutral, it's definitely the gameplay and game style that I was like most comfortable with, and I definitely, you know, like the play style I was going with. Now you fast forward 2 years ago, you know, now we're looking at in 2023, I'm rocking Deep Freeze and Rising Ice. So I'm definitely playing a little bit unsafe, but it's all about, you know, being able to mix up to your initial like gameplay. I always tell people too, because they ask me, Gamber, what's your, you know, type of playstyle that you go with? And you can't only have one playstyle too. You can't be too predictable. You can't have one pattern, because, you know, notice how this game started too. Amplified projectile being absorbed by amplified ice ball too. Noticing that's a pattern that I recognize within just the first 2 games and being able to jump on that too. Now imagine the roles are reversed. I have a pattern. DJT is able to jump on it, and now the momentum is shifted over to his side.
much fuel before they let
False block on the projectile.
Trade there on the book's going to go over.
Okay, noticing the stagger, and I interrupted with 1-2 into an ice ball. Try to go for a throw. It is what it is. Down to KB. Elects to go for the armor breaker. Thought I was going to break away. It was a smart read. And now he, you know, nice read on the wake up 3. And now here we go. DJT is just like that in 2 combos in the driver's seat to be able to take this round. Down 1 into 4-2 creeping ice. And that's how you be able to, you know, regardless of the 2 combos that just happened, stay calm and composed. And now I'm looking at a final round situation. I only need 1 more round to be able to solidify this 3-0.
attitude and in gameplay, but like
Okay.
I said,
Nice down 1. Tidal wave.
cannot count
Stagger, now looking for it, 4 throw to keep me in the corner, and now this is all DJT. Okay, roll out of the corner, catching the whiff,
be a
I don't think he's
KD.
gonna do it.
Okay, simple combo too. And you notice this too. If you don't practice that combo with Sub-Zero, it is a difficult combo, don't get me wrong. And what you would notice is I just elect to go for, you know, because I got asked this so many times, is, Gamber, why do you go for the down one and not electing to go optimal? At this time, I had not practiced the optimal with the stand 2, so I was just going for what's more comfort, right? Going for what I think is easy. I don't want to drop the combo. I don't want to miss out on significant damage. I want to be able to cash out on what I think is easy to me and what I'm able to just be able to say, okay, this is an easy combo. Here's, you know, it's not too much of a cash out of damage compared to what I can normally get, but it's still solid damage, and I keep my opponent into the corner. So you notice that. That's what I'm going to be able to, you know, just select for. Just the down 1 into a 2-1 right there. Because I don't want to drop like combos or basically lose the momentum. So that's exactly what you saw, is I'm able to get that combo and keep DJT into the corner.
Wait a little bit. He wants to try to ride it out.
Nice tech on the forward throw. Double down 1.
Needs to get out of this corner.
Okay, once again, getting mixed. There is no mix technically on that, but, you know, I'm just not electing to block. Okay, wake up. No hit confirming to back 3-2. Okay, nice use of the amplified ice ball. Nice false block on the jump in.
Do not tell me.
Okay, and the whip and jump in, and nice punish coming out from DJT. This is the first round that DJT was able to solidify, and me knowing that DJT had been down 2-0 and reverse 3-0 his last 3 opponents, I'm like, okay, I cannot give him the momentum. I need to be able to close this out now. So goes for the stand 2, and I get the escape field, locked and loaded. Nice false block on the amplified projectile.
Especially when DJT is
Down 4 into forward 4.
Nice check from Gambler, trying to keep things in his perspective.
Okay, and a punish off of the down 3, and here we go.
Big time opportunity. Here's a slide, and is he gonna go for it?
Now just go for the simple combo once again. DJT not electing to break. Now he's getting auto shimmied. Trapped into the corner. And that was beautiful right there coming out from DJT. So he dashed underneath. And me noticing, you know, I'm a player who recognizes movement, right? I really try to react to movement and try to make my decision making coming from there. So DJT, he dashed forward, but he did down 3 to go underneath my back 1. Back 1 is a high and down 3 is a low. So it definitely, you know, canceled out of my, you know, me trying to check the movement. It was such a good call coming out from DJT. So now I'm sitting there, I'm electing to block. I am up in the life lead, and I'm like, okay, what I tried to predict right there doesn't work out, so now I'm just going to stay patient in this situation. You know, I don't really want to overcommit. I don't want to give DJT any sort of momentum. It's all about, I believe Slide KB is not loaded just yet, so any sort of just like one combo or one attack will be able to put me in the driver's seat to be able to take this at 3-0. Okay, air to air, and the jump kick is going to work. Once again, I did not have Slide KB locked and loaded. Backed up, and then gets hit by the meter burn projectile, and that is going to do it.
Not even popping off. It was a 3-0. No pop-off necessary.
And you're going to notice, too, right there. So the commentators are really surprised. They're like, no pop-off needed, you know. It's a 3-0, you know. Especially if it was a down-to-the-wire set like 3-2, I'm talking last touch, then maybe there's room for a pop-off. But when you win 3-0, and especially noticing how this was my first top 8, right? So obviously it's a big moment for me. But I didn't pop off. And you're probably wondering, Gamber, why? In this moment, too, being in the lower side of the bracket, it's not like I won my first set, right? But I didn't win the whole tournament, and it wasn't a nail-biter set, right? It was a 3-0. So you have to, you know, this is just how I feel personally about winning 3-0. Is kind of like, you know, you've been there type of moment, right? So I just wanted to say, okay, you know, I'm not going to pop off, you know, just going to stay calm and collected. I do realize I have another match waiting for me. So I'm just going to be like, you know, calm and collected. Okay, that was just, you know, one match in top 8. It's time to mentally prepare for the next. And, you know, you're going to see that. You're going to notice my facial expression, just, you know, not, you know, you're going to see just a little head nod, like, okay, like, I won that, and it's definitely, like, a good momentum seeker, right? Especially, it's a great overall moment. You have a lot of eyes watching you, and especially this is the first moment of appearance, right? People didn't really know my name at this moment, or you did know my name, but, like, you didn't know of me, right? You don't know what kind of player I am. So, to be able to step into a big stage like this and to go against an MK legend like DJT and perform a 3-0 is definitely a momentum seeker, and it's definitely been a huge momentum opportunity that I've been able to capture going all the way into 2023. I've definitely been keeping that momentum since this day, and I've definitely, you know, row with it to the rest of these offline events that I have been participating at. leading up into this day. But that is going to do it for this YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave in the comment section down below what are your overall thoughts on this breakdown and analysis as we took a look at my first, top 8 performance and, how I executed and how I went about things. But that is going to do it, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Take care.